Oh, well. Start. You supposed to start.
So every time we do this, right, we're gonna have this issue of, excuse my hair, Jesus. We're gonna have this um thing about who's supposed to introduce us.
Mm.
You know why? I guess because I'm the man not supposed to lead.
Yeah, you're your masculine energy. You supposed to take my
But
masculine
but we
energy
don't
away
do
from me.
gender roles. That's what you
I
said.
know, but I just saw someone posted that. A man who takes away a woman's masculine
All right, so
energy.
uh here we are again, people. Last time we kept y'all for an hour. Hopefully, don't be an hour this time.
No, because I'm hungry.
Yeah, because we got food coming and people have to eat. Um, I'm Jermaine. Again, we're new to this uh podcasting thing. We're gonna start doing little reels sooner or later as well. Uh,
Oh yeah, the real that we supposed to think did.
yeah, and the reel that we're gonna do is like hilarious. We just haven't done it yet. Um, I was in a group and I seen a topic. Did you share it to the group? Actually,
No. I'm
oh
gonna share it to
jeez.
it now.
Anyway, um, I seen a topic that came across in one of these marriage groups we're in, and it said, why didn't somebody tell me marriage was gonna be so hard? So we were in UPS, and because we are in Iowa and taking care of other things, we haven't been able to do our daily or our weekly little podcast or whatever, right? So this is gonna be my topic. Why is marriage? Why she says? Why didn't anyone tell her marriage is so hard? So I asked my wife, is marriage really hard? And she started rambling, whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know how y'all women do. So I'm gonna let her answer the question, and I'm gonna give my answer. So
First of all, I don't appreciate the rambling thing. No,
that's what y'all do.
I wasn't rambling.
So I'm gonna ask you, baby, like I asked you while you was printing that off. Is marriage hard?
I think it's challenging, not necessarily hard, but I think it also depends on what you consider to be all the aspects of marriage. I think sometimes when
Vakila.
I think sometimes when people talk about marriage being hard, we automatically assume that they're talking about with regards to their spouse's behavior. And I think sometimes marriage can just be challenging because of maybe it's challenging to some people because of the emotions involved, or maybe because their spouse is going through a difficult time and they don't know how to get them out of a rut. So it depends on what they're considering to be hard to them. Or it could be like a blended family situation. Maybe that's what makes it hard for them. Like they didn't realize that it'd be so difficult to blend a family. So for them, that makes it hard. So I think it can be challenging, but I think we make it harder than what we need to make it. When we, especially when we don't put our partners first, as far as considering their feelings, their emotions. Because even when you're dealing with stuff with blended families, instead of just taking a side and saying, "Well, I'm gonna take this side because my kids or whatever," it's important when you put your spouse first. I think things will come out better.
I didn't look at it from that aspect. That definitely could be hard with the blended family thing. But I agree totally on what you said. And when we started this conversation, we just cut it off because I had things that I want to say. I wish it was shared in the group.
I did.
Oh, you did share
I
it?
did.
Okay, all
Yes,
right,
I
well,
shared it.
good. So here's my take on if marriage is hard. And I said this in the group. I think marriage is not hard, honestly. And the reason I don't think it's hard is what can make it hard and somebody say it's hard is the mental aspect of the individuals and I'm probably gonna do most of the talking on this. The mental aspect of the people that's involved. Uh, Meaning where I was at a point in my life and where I'm at today, marriage would have been hard for me earlier because of the things like I said to her. If I see her in a club or out and about, and I'm like, yo, she's the baddest whatever in the world, right? So I get a phone number and this, that, and the third, and she's the wonderful person that she is to me, and uh, uh, I'm talking about the old me, and she's that person because that's who she is, and I'm still out here uh, doing whatever. me meeting her, my mindset ain't changed. My mindset hasn't changed. So I could think like, yo, this is the greatest woman in the world, and everything else. And she's the prettiest woman in the world. And after a year, 2 years go by, if my mindset never changed before I even had that initial thought, then that's all she is to me, is a beautiful woman. Another piece of, so with that, marriage becomes hard because people mental aspect hasn't changed. It's not hard to me. It's not to say you don't have your rocky moments, your disagreements, your arguments, or whatever. It's not hard to me because I honestly married my best friend. So like we laugh. I look at it like this: we laugh together, we joke together, we argue together, but we gonna be together. Good looking dude too. You married a pretty decent looking guy, even though my hair. Anyway, so I don't, like you said. You said challenging. Maybe I would use challenging, but I wouldn't even say challenging, because you can have friends, and still disagree with your friends. Your homeboys, your homegirls, y'all have disagreements.
Mm-hmm.
So in a marriage, why wouldn't you have a disagreement? It's like I said in the last little podcast we did, is how you disagree. I don't think our marriage is hard, and I don't think marriages should be hard if you mentally change your thought process about it. We're not enemies. We're in love. We love one another. We're gonna disagree. We disagreed last night on playing tongue, which I beat her butt. But that's the things that happen. But it becomes hard and difficult when you're out there, when you decide to, I meet her in the club and then I'm going to stay going to a club, same club that I met her. Because look, I feel as though I'm a pretty decent looking guy. I feel as though my wife is the most beautiful woman in the world. And if I didn't feel like that, or if I felt like that in that moment when I met her in a club, not saying that's why I met her in a club, then I go to a club, I'm going to find another beautiful woman and I may think that's the most beautiful woman in the world. So you have to change your mental aspect, and then it doesn't become as hard. You definitely have to what is the word? Compromise.
Yes.
You definitely have to compromise, because she's a germaphobe. I wash my hands when I have to if they're dirty.
You wash them more now.
Yeah, I do it now. I mean, because there's nothing wrong with it. Like if you make a compromise, right? If you make a compromise, to a point, if you make a compromise, if I know that that's going to get on her nerve that I don't wash my hands every time I come in the kitchen, like, what is it going to kill me to wash my hands? Like at the end of the day, think about what that does. You're keeping germs out your house or germs off your food. So yeah, I didn't grow up. I don't want to make it sound like I'm nasty, but I didn't grow up washing my hands every time I go in the kitchen. She has me, I would use the restroom in the bedroom, wash my hands. I got to go in the kitchen and wash my hands again. Yeah, well, guess what? I was like, why in the heck I'm doing that? I just wash my hands. Well, you touch the doorknob going into the kitchen. It makes sense. I'm not like, yo, that's a simple compromise, right? So marriage is not hard if it's only hard. Let me say it this way. It's hard for people that has the mindset that want to be seen by other people other than their spouse. So if she wants to wear tight clothes and that's how I met her, wearing tight clothes, booty shorts, breast out and stuff like that. She did that. I'm not saying everybody do that, but most people that do things like that do it for attention. She met me with gold chains on, $100,000 cars and all of this, buying bottles at the bar, all that is for attention. So if that's from attention from everybody, not just your spouse or your partner. So it's not hard if you trying to get that attention from your partner. You're going to have ups and downs, rocky moments, arguments. She get on my nerve. Well, you don't do it anymore. She used to get on my nerve when I'm watching. I don't really watch basketball like I used to, because I don't really like the sport like that no more, because how the game changed. But when I watch basketball, football, she actually watch football with me now. So, but she'll aggravate me and try to do different things. You used to do that. Starting off, don't do that. Don't do that.
Not while you stop. Not while you watching the game, though, because you told me that from the beginning.
Pause this so we can argue.
No, you said from the beginning, so I've never really interrupted you.
Well, you have.
To ask you questions. But I ain't never told you to stop doing something and come do this or come do that while you watching the game.
Okay, and that may be a compromise with her. I disagree. Well, no, you know, you don't really ask me to come do stuff.
Right.
Like that. So, but what I'm saying to you guys is this. And I'll just close like this because she has things she wants to say as well. But marriage is not hard if the people's mentality is of one of putting your partner first and loving your partner. If you out in the streets, out in the club, like, and she meet me, I'm in the club and I portray this good guy, and a year go by, 2 years go by, we get married, but I'm still going out to the club. Now I want to go out to the club and I'm talking about, you got to trust me. Why you don't like at the end of the day, like, why are you still going to the club if it's not with your partner? I get it. You can go out with your boys every blue moon, but that has to be monitored as well. And that's when it becomes hard because depending on the friends that you have, guys or girls, if you got homegirls that go out and all they want to do is pick up dudes and holler at dudes and twerk and all this to gain that attention, if you in that group with them and doing the same thing, then yeah, it's going to become hard because that freedom, I will say freedom is something else. When you're single and you're out here doing, you have no care in the world. You can't live both lifestyles. So your mentality
can't be married acting like you're single.
Exactly. Your mentality has to change. Do I miss going out with my friends? Not saying she stopped me. I stopped myself because I don't want to put myself. First of all, she is my best friend. I had a situation sidebar. I need my medicine. Had a situation sidebar where we had some individuals tell us Super Bowl. When we went to the Super Bowl, the guy was like, "Oh, this is just for the fellas only," and we wasn't even married then. And what did I say when he said that?
Well, that's my best friend. We go everywhere.
She going everywhere with me, and then come to find out it was just what I thought it was. We got down there. This dude's married. He had his side chick. The other dude had his side chick. I wasn't married to her. Were we engaged at the time?
No, I don't think so.
It was my girlfriend. She was my girlfriend, but I had learned to respect her as a wife from the beginning, and my mentality changed. And these are older guys, and that's what's crazy. Like, I'm 45, she's 140, whatever she is. And these guys were like 45, 50 years old, and you're married and been married 15, 20 years, and you still, doing that thing. Now, again, I don't want to sit here and act like I'm an angel because I've done in the past, not to her, and I never will. I've done things, right? So I don't want to make it seem like that I'm the perfect guy or have been perfect my whole life. Is just a growth process. But at 45, 50-year-olds, or 45, 50-year-olds, these guys were telling me, oh, it's just for the boys. And we get to Tampa, and they got their side chicks there and this, that, and the third. And the dude kind of probably felt a little bit uncomfortable because that's how he was looking. But
we didn't stay visiting with them alone.
Yeah, we didn't.
We was at a campground and we were all camping. We all had our RVs. So we kind of made it a trip where we kind of stayed to ourselves and kind of just kicked it.
Because at the end of the day, she's teaching me. I don't 100% agree with that. But I'm probably about 85% now. Me and my percentages, you guys. That you don't be around people that's doing negative things like cheating on their spouses or whatever the case may be. I am the one of that's none of my business. As long as my marriage is good, this, that, and the third, I'm not doing it. But you bring that negative energy into your relationship, negative things can happen. So in closing,
not even this is that though. The other thing I was gonna say is that it's not like we don't still have issues, but what you hit on is important. Is about your willingness to kind of listen and not only compromise, but kind of look at things from a different perspective too. And to be able to take that step back and say, okay, let me see it from his perspective. Let me see it from her perspective and kind of adapt my behavior because of that. Because sometimes we do stuff. It's not like we're not going to do something and our partner never find it disrespectful or anything, but it's how you respond to what your partner says or stresses to you with regards to their feelings. Is how you respond and how you guys work that out and how you discuss it that matters. That's what makes it not hard. It's because, but if I had to come to you every time I come to you about something or issue and you yelling at me or acting like, oh, well, it's not even that serious, then that makes it hard in itself. But if I come to you and I know, okay, every time I come to him, it may be silly on my end, or he may, even if you think it's silly, you're not going to respond to me in a manner that's condescending or makes me feel that way.
And even if and I have done that. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. She's told me before that, hey, sometimes I don't feel comfortable talking to you because of how you may respond to this, that, and the third. Now maybe at that moment I didn't know that I responded like that, or she didn't tell me until later that I responded like that. I do a lot of self-checking, and I'm not always right.
Yeah.
Most of the time I am, but I'm not always right. But I do a lot of self-checking because, man, when you love somebody and you truthfully in just engrossed in them, then your world, from my perspective, your world revolves around them, and everything you do is to make them. Everything I do is to make her smile. Whether sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You don't. I hear her, and I only listen to her. I hear her, so I try to self-check. In the moment when you're upset and you're mad or you don't agree with something, sometimes I need because it's been plenty of times that I'm like, yeah, nah, man, this, that, and the third. I don't understand why you do that, and then I go away and I come back after I think about it. I go away and like, you know what? Yeah, yada yada yada, this, that, and the third. So you can and I don't want to give you guys all kind of examples, but if you self-check, it's okay to be mad in the moment. Again, how she says how you respond, but if you self-check yourself later, well, what could I do to handle that better? Or how could I do, or what could I have said maybe to get her to respond to me different, or either for her to get her point across or help her get her point across, and vice versa. It ends up working out. So I'll say
it does. And
marriage is not hard, man. It's your mentality. And I said that like 5 times this year, and I'll continue to say it. It's your mentality. You can't stay in a place of negativity, wanting to be seen by everybody. My goal is to be seen by her. I want to be the finest, sexiest. Well, I can't be the tallest person.
You're tall.
Yeah, okay. So, well, if she believe that, if she say that, then she's lying. What you don't do is lie to one another either. You don't do that either. But like my goal is to be everything that she can dream of, where she don't have to look for other people, and to continue to be that, and vice versa. Like I tell her now, like, you're the most beautiful woman in the world to me. Is it women out here that's prettier? Probably not, none of y'all. But that's in my eyes though. Like, you know what I mean? If I have to, if you give me 1,000,000 women, whoever the top women in the world are, and I'm not saying it's just because she's my wife, it's because of how I view her. Like, she'll put on something or do something, and I tell her, no, you don't look good in that, or so I'm not gonna lie to her, right? So but she's the most beautiful woman in the world to me. You can give me all what America considers the baddest supermodel, Instagram models, and everything, and my wife is gonna top them all. And the day that I lose that type of vision for her is the day that we're gonna start having problems, because then that means I'm gonna see somebody else and view her. And I'm gonna use this for anybody that guy wise that may look at this. I don't this, and y'all probably gonna say, because I probably would say it too. Y'all gonna say this dude is really lying and he's just saying that because his wife out. But I'm not Derek Jackson. You can go get the food. Baby. Hold on, she's gonna get the food. The food is here, and I'll continue talking. Told you I was gonna think you can do your subject.
Yeah, you just gone.
Yeah, because we 30 minutes, 20 minutes in now. But so I literally, when I look at a woman, I don't look at women sexually subjective anymore. If a woman has a big old butt or big breast or whatever, I don't even look at a woman like that unless it's just really disproportionate. Since I've even before I got married, you have to have in order for me to look at a woman's body in a sexual manner, it has to be something that's just like, oh my God, how she get that? And then I'll even point it out to her at that point, because I don't.
This way.
Okay. I stopped sexualizing women in that aspect, and that helped me look at my wife as the baddest woman in the world. Because, like, let's be real here, guys. No matter how pretty you are, somebody out there prettier. How sexy you are, somebody out there sexier. But when you fall in love and you get your mental aspect right, and your for us men, what I always call it, when you become sexually mature,
Yeah.
when you become sexually mature, that helps out a lot. Helps out a lot. Now the scary part about it is when you give all of that. No, I'm not even gonna speak that. I'm not gonna speak negativity. But that's what you have to do. So marriages are not hard. You change your mentality, you'll be okay.
You change your mentality, and I think when you do, Angela Bassett, she said they were asking her and Courtney. Yes, you do. What's love got
Angela
to do with
Bassett.
Bassett.
Yeah, see, Bassett. Like she's in court. Your Honor, I like to call Angela Bassett.
Look, though, when they asked her about her and Courtney Vance.
Angela. Yeah, go ahead.
I can call her. I bet you that's how she pronounced it properly.
Go back.
But anyway, when they asked her about her long-lasting marriage, they were. She was saying that the one thing they did was like they just divorce was not even an option. Like
it's not an option here.
So when you take divorce off the table, I
to
think
death do us part.
That makes it so that it's not. You don't look at it as marriage being hard necessarily when you do that, because you know that you're just gonna try to work things through. But this brings me actually to one of my topics I was gonna talk about anyway, because there was a guy made a post, and he normally makes really good posts. He'll list all these things about relationships and marriages that are very thoughtful and insightful. But he made a list about kind of like going on why marriage isn't hard type of thing. And then he said, it's okay to go to bed mad. So I agree with everything on this list, but that one with it's okay to go to bed mad. Don't feel like you have to resolve everything. So I get that. You don't have to resolve everything right there in the moment. I'm learning to adapt that, because my thing is always I will talk things through. But even when we go to our counseling,
and we go to let me say this. I'm sorry. We go to counseling. Yeah, I do. We go to counseling not because we have problems, but to understand one another better, and to make sure that when and if problems arrive,
we know how to
handle them appropriately. Yeah. Anyway,
so but it's like, no, you don't have. So I agree, you don't have to resolve everything, but you can be in the worst of arguments, and you should always still, to me, go to bed in love. Period. So you go to bed in love. You can agree, hey, this is an effed up situation. I don't like what happened, but we can go ahead and talk about it tomorrow. That way you're not going to bed angry, because I don't know, there's something to be said about never going to bed while you're while there's stuff going on. The doorbell ring. We have a mama's house, and I don't know who comes to the door. He keeps us protected, because he'd be like, I don't know who might run up in here. But anyway, so that was a really good point. Like I said, I agree with all the points that he listed, except for the whole going to bed mad. No, you don't go to bed mad. Okay, don't go to bed mad. Yeah, it's just something we do in the podcast. We get right now. Okay, you go to bed. You love each other and you agree to resolve it later, because maybe you both can't even think clearly. Even we got in that argument not too long ago. It was kind of a bad blow for us.
Not an argument.
Yeah, okay. It was I don't know what you want to call it.
Disagreement.
It was kind of it was a big one, but we didn't go to bed angry with each other.
We didn't, and it was probably about an hour long. When you talk about Halloween,
yeah,
it's about an hour long, hour and a half, maybe 2 hour long one.
Yeah,
and it was a bad one.
Yeah,
and we you know what's crazy about that? I've said, what have I always said to you about when I'm mad at you?
That you always love me.
I'm always in love. In the worst of the worst arguments, I am always. And now you're about to make me cry on camera. What the hell?
Oh.
Yeah, because that was a bad one. But even in those moments, right? As I'm laying there in the bed, upset. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but I gotta say this to you in front of the world. I said it to you again, but I'll say it in front of these people. As I'm laying there in bed, mad at you, trying to figure out what the hell just happened. How wrong I thought you were. I didn't do anything. We shouldn't be doing this or arguing this. It clicked. Like, I am deeply, deeply in love with this woman. I don't give a damn. At that point, I didn't care if I was wrong or whatever. I just wanted to make it right. Now, I wasn't going to compromise what I believe in myself but my wife was obviously bothered, hurt by whatever the actions I did, said, whatever the cause of that. But I realized that how much I loved you and was in love with you, and I wanted to make it right. So all the anger went away, and then we had a conversation.
Yeah.
Then I beat her back out. I tore that cooch, and I don't even believe in makeup sex, but I beat her up, the preacher, and her sister preacher. But I tore that. Anyway, but go ahead, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
But I'm just saying, so no, I don't think you go to bed mad. And actually, that whole time I was thinking, like, I wish he would just hug me, because then it'll feel like it's okay and everything's gonna be okay. I'm good with us.
If one of us, I'm sorry, baby. If one of us, she right, I always do this. If one of us wouldn't have woke up in the morning, just imagine.
Yeah.
Just imagine, like, you have a disagreement, or argument, whoever, anybody, not just us. And then you go to sleep mad at somebody. And this is why I don't agree with that either. Mm-hmm. You go to sleep. You know what? F you, nigga. F you, dude. F you, woman. And then now we turn our backs like this. Turn your back. Turn your back. We turn our backs like this and we sleep. Right? Now, what happens if, turn your back again. It's 8:30 in the morning. I turn around. Babe. And she don't move. The last memory you have of your spouse is an argument. Tomorrow's, and I know it's cliche, tomorrow's definitely not promised. And nothing will ever be
thank you, Heather.
Nothing is ever promised to you, and every day is not going to be a great day. Mm-hmm. But she ain't happy. You talking about happy? Y'all know right now, domestic violence over with. Anyway, the month over with. I turn her hand.
You shouldn't joke about that, though.
You're right. I'm sorry. You know what? I apologize if I now feel like Kyrie Irving. I'm not all jokes. So I apologize. I was joking with that. I shouldn't even play with that. You're right, baby. But yeah, guys. That's all I have to say, man. If you marry your best friend, marriage will never be hard.
That's true.
Think about this, dudes, females, and guys. Females and guys, how you have fun with your homegirls, and fellas, how you have fun with your homeboys.
Right, Heather.
You should be able to have. They don't scare me. I got a gun downstairs. Anyway, I'm just playing. I'm just joking. But if you have fun with your homegirls, like you have fun with your homeboys, mm-hmm. If you can do that with your partner, and you don't have to be married, man. This is not for married people. We just believe in marriage. Then that's I have fun with her just like I did when I was with my homeboys. And it's like if I gotta listen to this, fellas, think about this. If you can have just as much fun with your homeboys, except it's a woman, and then you in a club already trying to get some, but you already got your best friend with you, what's gonna happen when you get home? You're gonna get some. If you spend $100, $200, $300, $400, $500, $600 there, guess what's gonna happen when you get home? Right? Versus trying to impress a stranger that you gonna may get some, and then you may not get. But then if you do get the, you may get some other that come with them, whether it's baby child support, STD, or whatever. So like, man, at the end of the day, bro, it's like I'm good. So anybody that's going through anything, you say you shared this to the group, right?
Yeah.
So anybody that's going through anything, let me say this to you guys. Don't accept disrespect. Mm-mm. You look at yourself first. Mm. Understand that you love you. Understand that what you want, and see, self-check. See where your mentality at. See if what is hard about it? Is it because you want to go out and can't talk to this guy or girl? Is it you can't go out and twerk on this person and get this phone number? Because my thing, that's what I was going to say to you. Asked me that I remember. Or is it from the financial aspect? Only thing that I can honestly say that I really believe that'll be hard is the blended families, right? But even with the financial aspect, a lot of people get married for financial reasons. A lot of people get married for stability, meaning, which to me kind of could go into the financial aspect. A lot of people get married because, oh, she got a big butt, big breasts. A lot of people get married, oh, he got a big D. Oh, he sexed me like this or whatever. But people take love out of it. And when God's first, with God comes love, because God is love. And if you love God, you ain't even gotta love. I don't want to say that. You gotta love God in order for you to understand what love is, right? So with doing that, you just people get married for the wrong reasons. Let me say it like that.
Yeah.
If you're not in love and you're marrying somebody because they got great sex and this, that, and the third, then hey.
But again, I think some people just don't know what they're getting into. So I don't know. They may get married because they really love someone, but still don't understand how. This is how you put it. If you're protective of your marriage, and you put protecting your marriage first, then you can get through anything. It may again seem challenging, but it won't seem like marriage is hard because the focus is on you protecting your marriage and the institution of marriage and your marriage and your family.
Well, I gave y'all 31 minutes and 25 seconds or something.
Yeah, he just
You go.
going on.
No, I'm gonna be quiet this time. I ain't got nothing to say.
No, you do have
What's your
something to
topic?
say because that's what we were going to talk about before.
Nope. What's your
Yes,
topic?
we were.
What?
Okay. So there's this thing. I was going to talk about the Fran thing, but there was this other thing. So this lady posted in this group, right?
Oh.
And she said, my single 60-plus-year-old mother needs a man. She's super lonely. This is why I'm so against telling women it's okay to grow old and alone. Do not grow old and alone, y'all. It's not a pretty sight to see. Let's talk about it. Then she said, people aren't offended. That is me speaking about my mom. They're offended because I just debunked the rich auntie, traveling granny, old and free dream that's been sold to them in real time. So all these people came on her post, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, she's so wrong. I'm totally happy single and alone, and I don't mind growing old alone and all this stuff." So, what do you think?
If I get sick, I need somebody to wipe
Do you
my
need a
ass.
companion? Do people need a companion? As humans, do we need companions?
I think that's every person is different on that. Some people can be okay. Did she say how her mother feel?
I guess she said her mom is sad or something or lonely.
Okay, so I think that's different. I think that's different for everyone, right? And I think it's circumstantial as well, because if you have been through bad relationships and bad marriages or whatever, then maybe you being alone at an older age is okay with you. My pops I wouldn't want to do that. I don't think I could be 50, 60, 70 years old and alone. My pops was okay with it because for whatever reason he had going on with my mom's and then other relationships after that, he just didn't value women. When I say value, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the only value he had on them was what was between their legs and what they could do for him. Whether I agree with that or not, but if that's how he chose to live his life, then whatever. So I think that's situational and goes on the individual. That's how I think. That's what I believe.
Yeah, because I think some people can be truly happy alone. I don't think everybody has to have someone. Like you said, what would give me pause is if you already don't have a lot of family, and then because we're getting older, and you're not going to have your health.
You're getting older. I'm 21.
Whatever the whole time, and sometimes it may come to a time where you're not able to do things on your own. I mean, would you rather have a companion at that point?
It depends, because if neither one of us can walk.
Yeah, that's true.
Neither one of us can walk. We both in wheelchairs. We can't help each other.
Right. That's true. Very, very true. So it's one of them things that I think people don't think about. They don't think about the fact that, hey, you may get to an age where you don't have all your mobility, and would it be nice to have someone there to help you with that?
Like I said, I think that's personally each his own. But I do have another one. We got about 10, 15 minutes.
No. What's yours? I think my other one's better than yours.
Oh, well,
what's yours?
Nope, go.
Don't tell me what's yours.
Nope.
Tell me what's yours. We can decide.
I actually was gonna say something that I seen about the it was a different than the friendship one that we discussed earlier,
Mm-hmm.
but it was the one of the typical conversations.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we should do. We're gonna do typical conversations in relationships.
Okay, you do
in the
yours
next
5 minutes. I do my 5 minutes.
one. Should women and men have friends
Have friends.
like of the opposite sex?
Oh,
So basically, if you know you and I together and I got female friends,
mm-hmm.
should I get rid of my female friends?
That's funny because somebody asked a question like that in a group the other day. They said, actually was in a marriage group, and they said, is it okay for your partner's female friend to call them every day or something like that?
Yeah, I think I've seen that as well, and I think that's what kind of made me think about that.
But yeah, I think every day is too much. What are y'all talking about?
So you wouldn't be mad if you'd be mad at me if Tab called me every day?
I mean, what are y'all talking about every day?
But if that's something that we've been doing our whole lives,
well, okay, but how long you on the phone though? Because if you every day on the phone,
I don't care how long we on. If I'm on the phone with her,
then no.
Oh, boy! Whoa!
Because I'm like the other people. What do you have to talk?
I mean,
you can't talk to me about. Why you on the phone?
No, I said
friend,
that.
To your friend, like
that's
every
what I
day,
said.
all
But
day.
no,
That's
but that's what
crazy.
I said. I said as well too. Like, why in the heck would I be talking to somebody else other than my wife every day? I agree to that. But what I'm trying to tell you, if it's what I'm saying is, if before I met you, this is what I do. If I'm on the phone and it don't have to be all day.
Okay, but it's talking about that's okay, but that's what we just talked about. We just talked about that. When you get married, some things change. Like you don't still do the stuff that you would do when you didn't have a partner once you get married. So like if that was your thing, it'd be one thing if every day, our routine is to call each other every day and say good morning. Okay, that's different. But if you talking about y'all just on the phone out of random, y'all just talking to each other every day on the phone for hours at a time, that's crazy. Why would you be doing that? Because that's time you could be spending nurturing your relationship.
Yeah, well, I can personally I agree to that. Let me clarify that, right? Like my sister Tab, I love you to death wherever you at.
You about to get beat up.
Domestic violence, baby.
Oh, yeah. You don't see now you gotta be talking all crazy.
But no, Tab, we have a real good understanding. Early on, and my sister's Tab, by the way, Tabitha, I love her. We have an understanding like what we do, and we're not blood sisters and brothers. She used to talk to my cousin, and we just became close. Know a brother in the family, real close to our family. So I call her my sister. I take a bullet for her. But we also have an understanding, and the understanding is early on. Ain't nobody gonna tell us we can't talk to one another. Like at the end of the day, and I told her from the beginning, look, I got a sister. This is who she is. This is, the relationship, how our relationship became how it is. But then as time progresses, Tab see, how the person is in my life. She give me advice on the person and this, that, and the third. And then she, the conversations we have, they'll vary in the conversations. They'll differ. The time that we talk is whatever the case may be. Out of respect, I'm a little bit more harder than Tab, but out of respect for the person that I'm with, i.e. my wife, Tab, I tell her from the beginning, like you tell every dude in the beginning that, hey, I'm your brother. I'm going to be here. I ain't going nowhere. When you come and go, if you come and go, if you stay, I'm still here. Right. So and Tab she don't even call me at 11, 12, 1 o'clock unless it's an emergency, and vice versa. And me and her fiance is real cool. But out of respect for one another, we don't do that. Right. And we know if we call in that late, then it's an issue or something going on. Mm-hmm. So I think that people that I personally don't think that I think it's okay for people to be friends, have of the opposite sex if they were there before you, as long as it's respectful. And like it
depends on who friends are, because some people be saying people they friends
and they didn't slept.
They didn't mess with them.
We don't. Yeah, we're not doing that. Yeah, we don't do that type of brothers and sisters. That we're not doing that. But I also think that it's a respect level that they have to come. My wife have male friends. I don't care. I don't monitor her calls. I'm a little bit different on that because I think that if you're going to do something, you're going to do it. Whether if I monitor you, like, hey, who you texting? Who you calling? Okay, well, you're going to find a way around it if you really want to do it. And if you really want to do that, then you don't cherish what I offer you. and vice versa. So I give her privacy when it comes to that. She talks to whoever she talks to around me. I don't have no problem with it. A lot of people do have problems with it because, oh, you setting yourself up because of this and a third. But for those people that say that, understand that if your partner's going to cheat on you, they're going to cheat on you. That's who they are.
Well, yeah, and I think it comes up, like you said, it's about respect though too, because you just have to respect the relationship. Like again, it's the same thing with even with female friends. Like if I used to go out with them every weekend, I'm not going to do that once I get married. That's crazy. Why would I do that? It doesn't make sense. You're supposed to change somewhat in some aspects of all that stuff. Your friendships, how you interact with your friends, all that stuff change when you become married or have a partner that you know, a life partner or something like that. That's what happens. Nothing wrong with it at all.
And yeah, we agree with that. It's gonna be a lot of things, guys, that we have subjects on and we just talk about that we actually agree, because I'll say about 49.5% of the stuff in life we agree.
Whatever.
So
but I'll be clear. It ain't a friend if you've already
new friends, no.
Yeah, new friends.
Yeah, like unless it's our new friends.
Our
like
friends
we go out somewhere and we meet somebody, and then it's like, oh yeah, that person is cool. Then you do what you say your number was. You give it to me first. You talk to me before you talk to my wife, or female wise, same thing. Like so, it's because you can't help that you meet people and they're cool. A lot of times when you're with
sometimes you need to find like-minded couples,
and that's true, and that's another subject that we can talk about.
Yeah,
like, is it possible that you can meet one individual? Both of us meet one individual and they become our friend. Mm-hmm. How does that work?
I don't know.
So if it's a female, do she just get your number or do she get both of our numbers? If it's a male, do you just get my number or do you get your number?
No, probably just they probably should just have the female should have my number, the male should have your number.
Interesting.
Because I think it takes a while to kind of develop that type
of people. You gotta understand
doing nothing crazy.
Yeah. But I'll say this, that's well you know how I am when it comes to that. Because I trust you so much, whether it's right or wrong. I know people say you should never give everybody all your trust. I wouldn't give a dang if we meet somebody and he's super cool and I am on my phone, baby. Text him from your phone, because I know what you're going to do. If you do that, then 9 times out of 10, when he texts you, you're either one gonna put us in a group chat, or 2 tell him to text me, or here's my husband's number. So that type of thing that that's why I don't worry about that with you. When you start doing something different, then I'll look at you different.
Yeah, it's all about respecting the relationship.
Anyway,
and
what
was you gonna say?
No, I was gonna get off.
No, okay, so no, so I'm hungry too. But this is the part. So when we talk about respecting relationship, here's the last one.
Stomach.
Some girl said in a group posted. Somebody posted this in a group. Her boyfriend called her. Said he was on his way home from work at 4:00. He was super tired because I guess he had exhausted day. He was going home, going straight to bed. She called him at 10 o'clock to see if he had eaten. He didn't answer the phone.
Wait a minute, that's a night?
Yeah, she called him.
Whoa, so hold on, back up.
4:00 in the afternoon.
Okay.
He called her on his way home from work and said he was going home.
Where was she at?
I don't know, probably at work, her house. They don't live together, I guess. Going home, he's sleepy, he's tired. So she said, okay. At 10 o'clock, she called him to ask him if he had dinner. He didn't answer. So then she texted him, hey, I guess, you had dinner. He didn't answer. She thought that was strange and maybe that he was with someone else. So she texted him, I guess, what are you doing? You with
That's
somebody?
A whole another hour conversation.
I don't know, we ain't got to have them, but I'm just saying. You can marinate on it if you want to. She called him the next day. He didn't answer the phone. She texted him. He left her on red. That's what she said. She actually texted him the night before, and he left her on red. So that's what kind of made her feel away. So then
hold on. Stop.
He just cut his phone off.
Whoa. Hold on. Sidebar. Fellas, if you cheating, I shouldn't tell y'all this.
No, because it's a positive thing.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell y'all this. If you cheating, why in the... First of all, ladies, let me go to the ladies. If you're dating a guy and you text him, and you look at it, because only iPhones say red. I don't know about Samsung.
Yeah, they do that now. It depends on if the person on the same.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. ladies and gentlemen, if you text anybody and it says read and they don't respond, first of all, if you're gonna cheat, please, it's a thing in there where you can make sure that it just said
Why
delivered.
would you get people to?
I just because that's just so disrespectful. If I text you, if you're a lawyer, if you're in court and the phone is off, I get it because you may have a court date.
Mhm.
If you're, I'm just talking, well, when you're practicing,
Mm-hmm.
if I know you have meetings and we discuss meetings and it says read, right?
Then maybe I looked at it while I'm in the meeting. I can't type back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if I tell you I'm tired and I am going home
To bed.
to bed, because I'm gonna tell you the lie that guys would tell, or maybe even women at this point. And I say I'm going to bed because I'm tired, and I go to bed. I can go home and go to bed, and you text me. I roll over, look at the phone. So number one, if you're gonna roll over and look at your phone, if you love that individual, you should respond. Hey, look, I'm laying in bed, but I don't feel like talking. End of discussion. Even if you're cheating, unless your other chick don't know, which that's all another discussion. You should still respond, hey babe, look, I'm asleep if you're cheating. Guy or girl. But for somebody to leave you on red at 11, 10 o'clock at night, that means they looked at your message and don't, even if they really wasn't doing anything, they looked at your message.
They don't respect you.
And don't respect you enough.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they got a guy or a girl there to say, hey, look, I'm sleepy. I don't feel like talking. I just looked at your message. I'll talk to you in the morning.
Mm-hmm. So my thing is this. Apparently, maybe she felt a way for him because he simply, when he texts her, and maybe that was unusual for him to text her and be like, I'm going home because I'm tired. So maybe that was a trigger. The other thing I'm saying is that it's just basic relationship courtesy. When you're in a relationship with someone, you're just you're supposed to treat them with respect. You're supposed to be mindful of their feelings, everything else. You don't just do what you want to do. I don't think it would have been that hard for him to, if he read it, to respond back to her in a text saying, hey, I'm tired, I'm still asleep, talk to you later. Or to answer the phone, hey, babe, I'm still trying to get some sleep, don't call me again because I'm tired. That type of thing. But it's all about being respectful to your partner. I mean, there's no excuse for that, for the disrespect. So I think he's very disrespectful. And my thing was like, I think she needs to leave him expeditiously and permanently because there's no excuse for not responding to someone. And then the next day to turn your phone off because you mad, now you're giving her the silent treatment, which is just another form of abuse anyway. So now you're being abusive because you're mad. Which, so I don't know. Some people are saying that, oh, she's full of drama because he already said he was tired. Why she text? I'm like, well, she said she called him to see if he ate dinner. He grown, he know whether he ate dinner. Well, maybe that's what she's always done. Maybe she wanted to check on him. Maybe she wanted to make sure he had eaten. He was so exhausted. Maybe she's gonna bring him something to eat, so he wouldn't have to cook. I mean, dang. Sometimes you can be that exhausted. You wake up in the middle of the night. You like, dang, I ain't eat dinner. I'm hungry. I can't get. So maybe that's what she was doing. Like, so I can't fault her for that. But it's all about relationship courtesy. Like, you have to be respectful and have courtesy in a relationship. That's crazy. You don't treat anyone like that. Like, even sometimes with him, when he used to, even in the beginning of our relationship, when he would be gone and he'd be tired, so he's driving long hours. Even when he would say he was going to sleep, I would call him maybe a few hours later to see if he was up yet. And he never just left me on red or didn't respond. Like, he may answer and be like, hey, I'm still asleep. Or I could tell when he answered that he's sleeping and be like, I'm sorry, I woke you up.
Yeah,
and
now you
still answered though.
Yeah, that's why I married you.
So that's what that's about. I think it's disrespectful not to do that. That's crazy. There's no reason for that.
Well, 50 minutes. We was trying to do 30. Your sisters just asked about you. I'll say this. I said something in an interview, right? The other day, and I think it can kind of apply to relationships. What did I tell you? I said to some people, conversation leads to what?
I can't remember.
Understanding.
Yes.
So in closing, guys, because we gotta do something for. Well, they gonna do something. That's the women thing. I'll be in here by myself. It's 3 women in here, and I'm by myself. Them your
What are we
sisters.
doing?
Those are your
I'm not
sisters.
putting
They
up no
want
tree.
you. They
No,
you gonna put that.
I don't know why they
It's
think
for
I'm
your
putting up a
mama.
tree. I'm not
Your
putting a
sisters
tree.
asked for it. We just gonna stay here with me. I'm about to play my game.
I
Tuesday.
don't, no, you're not about to play with it.
Okay, wait. So listen, guys. This can work in your relationships as well. Conversation leads to understanding.
It does.
And I made that up on the fly just when I applied for a job and had an interview. You know how you gotta lie to the people, right? So I was like, conversation leads to understanding. And when I thought about that, when I got out of the interview, I told my wife, I was like, that's crazy, but that's a great saying. And then just after talking tonight, conversation leads to understanding.
It does.
And it really does. And I'll say it one more time. Conversation
Leads to
understandings. So with that being said,
conversation, not yelling at each other.
Conversations.
And actually listening to using active listening skills and conversations
leads to understanding. And with that being said, even if you going back to my original thing that I said, marriage is being hard. If your marriage don't have to be hard. If you conversate or have a conversation,
right?
Because then you can get clear understanding. Converse.
Yes.
That's what you want me to say.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what to say. Anyway, if you have a conversation, it can lead to understanding. Now, with that understanding, doesn't mean you have to always agree, right? But then you understand where the person comes from.
Mm-hmm.
So when a situation or that situation arises again, then you can understand where they're coming from and disagree with it.
Yeah.
With that being said,
look forward to our reels.
Oh yeah, because we got one that's coming that we've been trying to say for about 2 weeks. I think it's pretty dang on funny.
It is.
It's about our keto and working out, tricep exercise. That right there. How I help my wife with it.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
It's very interesting. That being said, guys, I don't have nothing else to say. Peace, love, and Afro Grease.
You can watch us on YouTube as Around Us Looking Glass. So.
Yeah. What only reason we didn't do this probably in the last week? Well, last time we did it last week. Did we do it last week?
I think no. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
My mother-in-law, her mom, my mom, one of the greatest, strongest people in the world, had some issues, health-wise, and we're trying to get corrected. So just leave it at that. So we had to come out of town. Prayers, if you guys will. And with that being said, peace, love, Afro Grease, stay in love. Conversation leads to understanding. And as always, I love you.
Love you too.
Now stop this thing, because I got a drink. And go out there and play with your sister.
And I'm hungry.
Food is always good.